Oh, friends, it's Romania Black, and we are on episode 8 of Thousand Autumns. Oh, I'm excited for a couple of reasons. One, 8 is my lucky number. Always has been, always will be. I don't know. I have on my channel the rule of 8, which is usually reserved for series that are 11 to 13 episodes long. I always maintain if it's an 11 to 13 episode series, the 8th episode is a turning point. It's a great episode. It's going to be a good time. You can always count on the rule of 8. It's only been disproven maybe twice. But for all the channels I've seen over the last 5 years, it has always come through short series, rule of 8. But this series is 16 episodes long. So I'm a little bit I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I am excited nonetheless. I'm also excited because Be Happy, our moderator for this series, had left a note that after this episode, I can start watching the ED. And I'm like, yes, I can't watch the LP till the last episode, or episode 12, I think is what they put down. But I can watch after this episode. We're going to watch the ED, which is exciting. And also good because this episode is only 24 minutes long, which after you take out the 5 minutes of ED and OP, it's going to be 18 minutes. And I'm like, why? Why is it so short? Why are these episodes so damn short? Some people in the comments were like, we can't wait for you to get to the novel. And I'm like, me too. I need some more long form content to go through other than an 18-minute episode. I swear, Don Mai. I swear, Donghua. So I do have some comments from episode 5 and episode 6 I want to talk with you all about before we get started. Sunray535 for episode 5 said that Shiwoo's name literally translates to 15. He's a little kid, and he's literally 15. It's 10 and 5, 15. It reminds me of the ancient Romans naming their sons original numbers like Quintius, 5, or Octavius, 8, or Decimus, 10th. That's one of my things. I have ideas for stories, and one of the stories that I have in my brain that I eventually just need to write out and put online and let people read is to have it's kind of like a mob thing, but all the mob members are kind of they have the Roman numeral names, Octavius is one of the characters, and Severin, which is tied to 7. So yeah, it'll get out there. But yeah, unlike the Latin names I gave as examples though, Shiwoo's name isn't the ordinal number since it would have to have this D before it. Instead, it's just flat out 15, not 15th. Wow. So it's literally just the number 15. I like that the author was just here's a number. Let's call him that. Let's go. But thank you. Thank you so much, Sunray. I appreciate that. Zurikir Joseph. I'll never get it right. They've been commenting for years and I'll never get the name right. It will just not happen. They commented on episode 5 saying that although Shen Qiao can't see him, I think Yan Wushi just wants to be fabulous at all times. He's doing it for himself, but hey, even if Shen Qiao can't appreciate the view, we the audience sure can. Here's my theory with that, because we've been talking about how Yan Wushi is just chesticles out, full diva all the time, and Shen Qiao doesn't even get to see it because he's blind. Here's my theory. Yan Wushi does not know the moment that Shen Qiao will gain his eyesight back. He won't know the exact moment, but he's going to be ready. He's going to be full decked out, chest bloomed, ready to go so that he can oh, your vision is back and be against a couch. He's just going to be ready for it. It's like Dolly Parton never took off her makeup in front of her husband because she didn't want him to see her without her makeup. It's one of those things, right? And you know what? I appreciate that. We appreciate the view. We appreciate Yan Wushi's effort. We appreciate a diva. So I'm all excited about that. And then Be Happy. Be Happy had a great comment for episode 6. So I'm going to go through it. The slap. That damn slap is maybe my favorite Yan Wushi moment up until now. How dare you attack Shen Qiao? How dare he take him a hostage? Something he made sure to have proof of, even if he was already aware from intercepting the message. But Shen Qiao needs proof. But especially, how dare he call him Ah Chao, like Yan Wushi calls him? The audacity! I love when a over-the-top, flamboyant drama villain immediately gets jealous of other villain and is like, no, you're the real villain. I'm not the problem. I love it. UI deserves all the dissing and mockery he was served. I mean, he poisoned Shen Qiao. The poison is the reason that his vision and meridians were messed up. So what did he expect? Honestly, I know, right? I'm like, what did you expect was I thought that you'd be okay with us poisoning you if it was for a good cause. Bitch, no! So I get that he has a different vision from Shen Qiao and his late master, who were more reclusive, and that UI is more of a let's open up Mount Zhandu to the exterior world, man. But is it really the way to do it? Backstabbing your childhood friend? I was like, yeah, even if you were like, oh, it's for this greater cause, I'm like, there was at least half a dozen ways you could have gone about it without poisoning and manipulating your best friend. There were just lots of options. You just either were too dumb to think of them, or you're being manipulative and you're trying to gaslight. One of the two. And I am also completely with Shen Qiao's argument. UI has the goal to question Shen Qiao bringing Yan Wushi to the mountain when he was in cahoots with Beimu. And the people his master fought and who are not the most righteous of people. It's a do like I say, not like I do situation. And then there's this big eye roll emoji. Yes, Be Happy and I are on the same page. We are literally opened up to the same book. It is there. I'm like, it is written. Yes, absolutely. I'm like, come on now. You know what? The more things go on, the more joining this evil gang doesn't seem like a bad idea. And now Shen Qiao's killed somebody. Like Shen Qiao killed Huo Shijing in the last episode. And I was like, I'm still wrapping my mind around this. I was like, damn. Shen Qiao, he did preface the episode last week saying that, good versus evil, it's like an instinct choice. And Yan Wushi's like, tell me more. So I want to know what we're getting this episode. It's the rule of 8. So there is no telling, but thank you all so much for your kind words and your comments. I have really appreciated them. I definitely am excited for the novel. Don't get me wrong. We are doing the novel, by the way. It's going to happen. I already have the first volume. We're going to be doing it. But we still have to get through the Donghua, right? We need to get to the Donghua. It's my essential rule on the channel. We do the animated adaptation first, then we dive into the source material. So... But anyway, I'm excited. I hope you all are as well. We're not going to waste any more time. We are going to start episode 8 of Thousand Autumns, and we are going to get that started here in 3, 2, 1, and... the rule of 8 doesn't let us down. The rule of 8 does not let us down. It never will. What a fun episode. I had a lot of fun with this one. Okay, so I did go back because I feel like, and I made a comment on episode 7 while I was on there. I was like, I feel like I've missed something. Maybe I'm not getting something. And I usually don't like spoilers, but I'm like, I just need to clarify. So I went on Discord and I asked Be Happy, the moderator. I said, okay, look, just a quick question. I've finished episode 8 and I'm recording this before episode 7 comes out. So I think I'm confused on one aspect. Has Shen Qiao regained his eyesight? I want to just clarify, because if I've missed it, I don't want to keep guessing, for the rest of the series, if that's the case. And Be Happy says, and I've got to pull it up here, quote, "Hello, Romania. No, Shen Qiao did not regain his sight yet. He still has poison in his body, which is messing up his sight and his meridians." So that makes sense. The poison is tied to him losing his sight. That all makes sense. Sometimes he sees things that are blurred, like in episode 6, but for now he's just using his honed senses and martial arts perception to fight. That makes sense. The little he can see from that time in the temple is when Yan Wushi injected some of his force and opened his eyes to read the celerity, but his eyes don't function well still, as said above. Okay. I mean, that does make a lot more sense. And plus the idea that Shen Qiao is becoming more accustomed to his body. He's regaining his power slowly, which is slowly like overriding the poison. So it's coming. It's all coming back to him now. We are at the preamble of the Celine Dion song. So it all makes sense. Okay. That's good to know. I've noticed as the animation has gone since episode 6, he's not using the bamboo stick like a blind man anymore. He's just walking with it. So I kind of like that as a symbolism of him becoming more confident, and that there's that too. So that's exciting. But yeah, so we have to dive into this episode and my dog's just going to have to be complacent with the fact that I can't reach your belly to scratch, Ruby. So we have a lot of things that were brought up in this episode. A lot happened. Like in episode 7, a lot went down, and I feel like the novel is going to expand on this so much more. So I'm really excited about the novel. That's going to be really fun to get to. But in the meantime, let's talk about this episode. So we have this recap. God, this episode was too short. So we've got some new markers. Whiteboard Coon's getting so upgraded. We have magnetic markers now. What is this, 2025? 2026? So what we can put over here is the fact that Hei-Hwan is not happy. Hei-Hwan is not happy with Yan Wushi. I find it interesting because we also have to talk about Fa-Jing, because Fa-Jing sent the one guy who's working with, they both are kind of in cahoots with Kunye. Over the last 10 years that Yan Wushi has been gone, they've been getting in cahoots with Kunye. I do think there's a really cool difference, though, because Juju, Our Lady in White, she's not happy with Yan Wushi, but she seems very much like she's willing to like cuddle up to him and cozy up to him and make negotiations. She's a little bit more manipulative, it seems. Maybe I'm wrong, but she's not happy with him, but she also doesn't want to work with Kunye. She's like, you come to me, I'm not working with you. And I love the visual symbolism of her like above Kunye and Duan, where she's standing above them being like, ew, do I have to cooperate with you? Maybe. If Yan Wushi keeps being a bitch, I guess I will. You know? Meanwhile, the guy from Fa-Jing has a history with Yan Wushi and just doesn't seem to like him. And Yan Wushi calls him a creep. So, there's clearly some beef there. But what it's framing is that you have two sects of the evil gang that are kind of against Yan Wushi. Now, I'm doing some Modao Zushi MXTX logic here where you can have the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I could see in the story Shen Qiao helping Yan Wushi to frame this to everyone else in the martial arts world as, oh, well, yeah, I'm from an evil gang, but these 2/3 of the evil gang are now against me, so does that make me evil? Does it cancel itself out, I could see that maybe happening along down the way or not. We'll just have to see, so... But yeah, I need to just memorize Duan's name because Duan is, I keep getting him and Kunye confused. They are not the same person. They don't even look alike. They're rarely shown together. And then when they're shown together, you're like, oh, of course. Okay, so I wanted to point out right from the start, you have Yan Wushi with the rock where he's doing the Jack Sparrow coin across his knuckles. There's a character in Word of Honor that does that right from the start as well, who, would be a bad guy, but turns out to not be a bad guy. And I'm like, I'm seeing this as being a trope. If you have Hua Chong doing it with the poker chip and Heaven Official's Blessing. It's a trope. I'm going to call it trope. It's anything that goes over the knuckles is a suspiciously maybe not bad guy move. So he gets that Oriole out of there. A mantis stalks a cicada, unaware of the Oriole behind. So here's what Yan Wushi is proposing, being like with the mantis going after the cicada without knowing that there is the Oriole coming up behind. What he's trying to say with this is that he's recognizing that there is the potential of a trap being set up where someone is going towards, like, Kunye as the problem with not knowing that there's this, like, sect member that's going to backstab behind. That's how I interpret it, is that we think Kunye and Beimu is the goal, but these sects that are secretly working with him are actually the problem as well. Or vice versa. We think that this one thing's the problem, but Kunye is coming from behind trying to get him. Either way, I like the establishment that Yan Wushi is kind of a little bit ahead of the game right now. Although this whole thing about 9th level of Phoenix descent is a little bit concerning. He's like, it's just who should be the Oriole. Which also, I don't know, maybe Yan Wushi is talking about him being the Oriole and setting this up for Kunye. I don't know. I'm willing to defy all difficulties and danger to win honor. I like that he was like ready to be like, I'll do anything you want, Mr. Yan Wushi. You just tell me what to do and I'll be there. He's already gone. He's gone to go play Go with his bestie boo. This was the part where I was a little bit like, the birthday invitation is what has thrown me off about him being able to see. I want to revisit that scene, but I'm sorry. These two playing the game with one another, when did this start? I want this in the novel. I want this expanded upon. I want to read 1,000 pages of them just playing games against each other and talking and flirting. I hope that happens. Maybe not 1,000 pages worth, but I hope that that happens because this scene is so cute. I just love it. Also, I love that the ring on his finger was not necessarily the heirloom, but it was pointing out and foreshadowing that he was going to get access to it. That he went down into the catacombs to get the heirloom, potentially, or that he's had it all along. We don't know exactly. He reveals that he's had it to Kunye, but there's no telling how long he's had it. So interesting. But I just love the two of them playing. Also, it's a sign, before, Shen Qiao would not, he would have been like, I don't want to be around you. I'm too, and now he's like, you want to play a game? I love that they're slowly getting used to one another. So, we have some good news and bad news from Yan Wushi, and he asks which one he wants, and he says either is fine. He's like, I'll tell you the good news first, because once I tell you the bad news, you're going to jump up out of your seat, which he does. He says the good news is that Li Qingyu, the last disciple of Yi Bishan. Yeah, Yi Bishan. Let's go back. I got my notes pulled up here. Yi Bishan, if we're looking at my notes here, I'm going to pull this back up. Yi Bishan is, which one was he? He is, he's someone we think has one of the books of the celerity, which now I don't even know. They've kind of pointed out the celerity is just a front. And even though Shen Qiao has two of the books that we all know the celerity is just like a side quest now and not the main thing anymore. So I'm like, okay, maybe that matters. But yeah, Yi Bishan is the Chungyong Temple. Okay, so we've established that he may have one of the books. We'll see. So we talk about, let's bring this up here. So the good news is that Li Qingyu, who is the last disciple of Yi Bishan. Okay. I feel like Yi Bishan is kind of in the same lines as like Shen Qiao's master. So Li Qingyu is like the last disciple from him. Okay, maybe he was the one that was at the party that loaned him the sword. Maybe. He said he made a hit at the Yutai contest on Mount Zhandu. Your peer Yu, forced to come on the stage, only won by a hair. So, on this, so I guess we established that Yutai beat Li Qingyu by a hair, is what we are establishing. Okay. I think it's pretty interesting that Shen Qiao can play this game without being able to see. He's just kind of maybe using his senses to get there. And now Chungyong Temple are itchy for a try to win the title of world's #1 temple. And I just, Shen Qiao's face kind of crumples at that. He's like, yeah, remember when I was a disciple of Mount Zhandu? Remember when that happened? Also, I feel like Shen Qiao kind of feels bad because he was against all of this news that Yan Wushi's bringing up, and he was like against them going out into the world, and now he's realizing like, it's kind of like when you don't want to play a team, when you don't want to put on a team tournament, and then they do it without you, and it turns out to be a hit, and you're like, now I kind of want to be part of it, And so then the bad news, he's like, what's the bad news? The Khan of Hulangu, which Beimu cling to. So the Khan, which I'm guessing is the leader. So the bad news is that the Khan of Hulangu, and we're going to say that Beimu clung to. Okay. All these notes I'm putting in my notebook afterwards. So sent for UI to his capital to preach. They requested UI to attend the capital and preach. And he did. He took him up, which of course Shen Qiao's like, oh, the audacity, like where are his principles? And he agreed. And so then he's asking a tiger for its skin. And now you're an outcast of Mount Zhandu. So why do you even care? Yeah, so basically Shen Qiao is worried that this is like a bad decision and a dangerous one. And it's basically like walking into the lion's den and asking the lion to like give you its skin. So he's like, well, why would he do that? And he's like, why do you care? You're not a member of that sect anymore. I love the tradition and the trope of don my sleeves are like the Mary Poppins bag. You can fit all sorts of stuff in there. But he pulls out this invitation. He's like, you lost the game. And the loser needs to do me a favor. It's an invitation to a birthday party. I don't have time to go. Go on behalf of me. Okay. So I missed that part where he said, this is an invitation. So he did explain what it was. That all makes sense now. Okay. So Su Qiao. Okay. Now he does the part where Shen Qiao is like, Su Qiao. He's like, I don't know this man. He's a member just like Li Qingyu. Okay. And it's his mother's birthday banquet. Didn't you say you know a little of the current situation? So at this banquet, there's going to be a gathering of heroes. This is your chance to see what the world is like now. Here's the thing. One, I guess that part where he asked about Su Qiao confused me because I'm like, how did Shen Qiao read that if he doesn't have his sight? But if it is blurry, I guess he kind of maybe saw a little bit of it. Or maybe there's Braille on the card. Who knows? I do think it's kind of funny because what Yan Wushi is doing is he's basically like, hey, I could get you on the up and up of what's going on, but that's kind of above me. It's kind of below me. I'm above it. So instead of me having story time with you and doing a giant exposition dump, I'm going to have you go to this birthday party. And then you get to meet everybody and you get to catch up to speed because I don't care about these people, but you might want to care about these people. So how about you go? It's a very couples thing to do where you're like, oh, I don't want to go to that party. I don't like any of them. But you want to socialize? Okay, you go, boo. We'll be fine. That's actually really funny. Yep, and then he leaves him. Again, one thing I really respect is that Yan Wushi, he does not pressure Shen Qiao to do anything, although he did tell him you lost a bet, so you have to go. But he lets him do it on his own. Yan Wushi is not a stage 5 clinger. He's just, kind of like off in the wings being like, I'm going to make sure you're okay. And then I'm going to do my own thing. And then I'm going to come back and make sure you're okay. Is that cool? Okay, cool. So we go to Su's mansion. And that's when we have the carriage pull up. And they're like, oh, Leader Yan of the Han Yu sect. And he's like, actually, it's just me. I'm here on his behalf. So Su Qiao, member of the Chunyang Temple. He's really cute. I like his model. Also, I like the red and purple. I would never think really go together, but here we go. Okay, so we have old Mama Su. Mama Su, which she's going to have some drama a bit her here in a little bit. And then she has Su Qiao's son. She's on there. Okay. So then we have the Taoist priest, so Yi. Okay, so Shen Qiao goes on in, and that's, okay, so that is him. Okay, all right. I did not get his model memorized when he first met up with him. So that is Li. He did say Master Li. So yeah, so Li Qingyu. Li Qingyu and Shen Qiao hit it off. In fact, he really doesn't want Shen Qiao to stay with Yan Wushi. He's like, hey, if you, I feel like he might be crushing. There are lots of people. Old Shen Qiao is developing a harem and he doesn't even realize it, right? One of the harem members is dead by Shen Qiao's own hands. But the other members, I don't think Shen Qiao even knows. You have UI, you've got the one guy that's one of the disciples, not the one that fought him last episode, but the other one. And now you have Li. Li Qingyu is like that friend that's like, hey, I know we just became friends, but like the guy you're seeing, if you don't feel safe around him, he's like, if you don't feel safe around him, you can come hang back at my place. You don't have to stay with him. Are you being held hostage against your will? And Shen Qiao's like, no, I asked him to take me away. It's kind of on me. I really like Li Qingyu. I like him so far. He's great. So yeah, they all go in and sit down. God, this is giving me word of honor vibes. And good, look at this guy. This one guy's like, hey, that guy can't see well, so just put it on the side for him. And so he is Huang Fu Zhan. Huang Fu Zhan, he also, welcome to the harem. So Huan Fu Zhan, he was nice to Shen Qiao at the dinner. And he's also like there. He's like the guy in Scott Pilgrim that knows everybody and explains who they are. He's like, oh, what does he say there? Oh, it's no bother. I thought he said it was somebody's brother. And I was like, I need to write this down. He's like, I'm Huang Fujin. He's like, this way, please. And so he's like, there are many distinguished guest presents. He's like, want me to introduce? And I like that Shen Qiao's like, will you introduce me to them, please? And he's like, well, sure. I also like that he points them out. That was the thing too. Like Shen Qiao, I think Shen Qiao doesn't want to let on that he can't see because admitting that disability puts you at an immediate disadvantage, especially against people you don't know who might hurt you. So he's kind of just like, oh, just tell me who all is here. So I kind of have a heads up. Okay, so he says Su Chao and then Li Qingye. Okay, who is the member of the temple who achieved fame at Mount Zhandu. Yeah, he kind of has like a, I don't know. Sometimes big noses I'm all about, and he has a good nose. I'm here for it. The two Jades of the Green City. Okay, so Li and Su Chao are the two Jades. There's always two Jades in a Donmai somewhere. And so then he says the young man over in green is, okay, Fan Yanbai from Bixia. I don't know him. I don't think we've even had Bixia mentioned. So Fan Yanbai, who is from Bixia sect. He has the like full-on beard and looks like a frat bro. So that's him. And he also claims to know a bunch of stuff. And next to him, oh, wait. Oh, in the green. He's not the frat bro. Not frat bro. Dao Yanshan. I was like, where have we seen him before? No. So the guy, he's in the one in green. We don't get to see him talk. The one who talks, is the leader of the Liu gang. Yes. Yanshan. He's there. He looks like the frat bro. Yes, that's where I'm seeing him now. I was like, haven't I seen his design before? From the Liu gang. There are so many characters in this dang story so far. It can be hard sometimes to keep them straight if we don't see them every episode. And that's when Shen Qiao is like, why is the leader of the Liu gang here? Yeah, okay, yep, there he is. Seeing him in the light and not in pitch black darkness in that temple makes a difference. Okay, so that's why he knew Shen Qiao. That all makes sense now. Okay. And he's like, never mind. He's like, I don't have to worry about these things. Shen Qiao's like, none of Leader Yan's errands are easy to run. You've become an errand boy and you don't even know it. So he sets the drink down. And then meanwhile, that's when Yan Wushi is like, okay. He's like, shit's about to go down. All right. Him in his little pointy shoes. Okay, so then the two disciples come up, and and they greet Shen Qiao. And Jean, can we make a note that Jean, what was his last name? I wrote it down from last week. It's Jean Jichin, I think it is. He wants to make a painting of Shen Qiao, like freaking Jack and Rose from Titanic. I was like, what? I was like, there's only one way that that's going to happen, and that's if you give that painting to Yan Wushi afterwards. That's the only way that that's going to work out. I was like, what? But yeah, he's like, oh, I've got to, now it makes sense why he was trying to get Shen Qiao's attention, because he's like, I want to make a painting of you. I'm like, okay, sure thing. So then we have Mrs. Su, okay, which is Su Qiao's mom. Okay, that old harlot. I love her. So yeah, these guys come in, and so the envoy and the guests come in, and who shows up but Duan? Okay. Kunye sent his man. Yeah, okay. I do like his character design. He's like, I was told to ask Mrs. Su if you remember the old friend from Beimu's royal family who's been waiting for you in vain. I was like, for a second, I was wondering if Duan was trying to like reveal that Mrs. Su had like an illegitimate child and like Kunye was her illegitimate kid or something. I thought this was going to turn into Mori real quick and was like, what is about to happen? He's like, this feels very like Sleeping Beauty when Maleficent shows up and was like, oh, you didn't invite me to your birthday party. Like, it feels very much like that. So he says, I'm Duan. Okay, I need to remember his name because Duan Wenyang, which I feel now I definitely should because Shen Qiao makes the note that Duan is maybe tougher than Kunye, which I'm like, oh, is he the actual villain? Is Kunye just fooling himself? So we have Duan Wenyang. I thought he says he was one of the disciples of Hulu. Right? Wasn't it Hulu? Of Hulugu, thank you. So I guess that might put him on par with Kunye since they both were disciples. But I honestly thought that Duan was like a disciple of Kunye, but that is not the case. Kunye and him are like brothers. They're like disciple brothers, kind of like UI and Shen Qiao. So yeah, he could be stronger than him. Shen Qiao makes the note of it. And so he says, does my master's name ring a bell, Mrs. Su? And she's like, oh, those were back in my Ho days. I don't remember that anymore. She's like, you must have mistaken me for somebody else. And he's like, oh, really? Oh, really? And he's like, well, your maiden name was Qin Shanghan. Is that right? And she's like, bitch, I left that behind. I left that identity behind 30 years ago. You traveled to Beimu and begged to learn from my master. Knowing my master favored and trusted her, she attempted to steal the halidom of Beimu. But my master found out and you fled back to the Central Plains. And today, under my late master's will, he's like, I came from an explanation. He just shows up just demanding to know what's been going on. So the thing is, he believes that she asked Hulugu to train her and then tried to steal the ring. Okay. And apparently it didn't work, and then she got sent back and then restarted her life under a new name. You know, just shady things people do. It's fine. I like that Lee is just like, let's not have any of this. And the one guy, Su Qiao, is like, do not slander my mom. And so then they start this battle, which is fun. He's like, oh, look, the chief disciple of world's #1 temple is here too. I like Shen Qiao's like, I just came to have fun. Why y'all calling me out? Because then everybody's like, oh. And Shen Qiao's like, I'm not with that. I'm no longer the chief disciple. I'm sorry to disappoint you. There is an air of when Shen Qiao is like, I'm not with Mount Zhandu anymore. There is such an air of we just got divorced vibes from that, right? It's like when you meet somebody that recently had a divorce and they're like, oh, hi, Mrs. York. And she's like, I am not Mrs. York anymore. And you're like, oh, that's the vibe that Shen Qiao is giving off. Like, I am not with Mount Zhandu anymore, actually. I'm not with UI. Don't want to associate with him. Kind of on bad terms with him. I'm over here with Leader Yan, you know. I'm not here on behalf of Mount Zhandu. And so then that's when Do comes up and he's like, he's here with the visiting card of Leader Yan of the Huanyu sect. And everybody's like, oh, the scandal visiting card with his moral prestige. He's like, I'm afraid Chungyang Temple can't even rival you, but you come on behalf of Leader Yan. And I like that Shen Qiao holds himself with such grace, because he could have been like, you bitches poisoned me. How dare you? But instead he's like, you know what? I'm going to take the Beyonce high road, and we're not going to worry about it. What gets me is everyone, not just UI, but everyone is saying, are the rumors true about you and Leader Yan? Like, the leader of the Liu gang is like, is it true? Are you with him? Like, oh God, why is it none of y'all business? It's none of y'all's business. And then the one guy, Su Chao, is like, let's not start this gossip train. Let's get back to fighting. I love it. I love it. It's great. This fight here, the choreography of the fights in this episode were fantastic. I love it. So then Liu Qingyu is like, hey, you picked a fight in this temple. Let's bring it on. Okay. I do like the Duan has a whip. I think that's fun. Meanwhile, in the secret chamber of Su's mansion, which is it a secret if Kunye knows where it is? Okay, what does it say there? Something about bad luck. Bad luck. Everyone is glutting themselves with delicacies. Only you and I. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Maybe that was Yan Wushi coming in. And then Kunye. Okay. Anyway, doesn't matter. What matters is that Kunye shows up, and there is sitting on that throne like such a whore member is Yan Wushi. And he's like, oh, sup? How's it going? I just love that he's just sitting there. Like he's laying down like Rose in Titanic, like draw me like one of your French girls. That is literally what Yan Wushi is doing right there, being like, I was expecting Shen Qiao, but I guess you'll do too. I almost fell asleep. Freaking love it. He's like, why are you here? And he's like, oh, just slutting around, waiting for you. It's great. Since you returned to the Central Plains, I've been thinking what you've been up to. You've made trouble at Mount Zhandu and went all the way to kill Shen Qiao, so I guess you're looking for something. I like that he just calls him out on his bluff. He's like, oh, and by the way, he's like, I know all of your plans, and is this what you're looking for, by the way? And sure enough, it is. And guess who has it? I also love the fact that Yan Wushi has all of the rings and all the glitz and the bling on him, and he's like, well, I mean, is it a surprise I have this ring? I have 2 others already. Might as well make 3rd time's a charm. God, I love it. He's like, you traded with Zhuyin at Chuyin Temple, and while your peer is making a scene now, unfortunately, the secret Zhuyin got from the Imperial Palace of Beifong is known to me too. So he's like, you tried to get the abbot involved to keep all this a secret and help you find the ring, but yeah, I kind of beat y'all to it. So whoopsies, whoops-a-daisies. So he's like, I imagined if I turned up at the martial arts circle, if I turned the Central Plains upside down with this knowledge, what's the magic about it? Okay, so I think that's good to know. So we need to establish that Yan Wushi does have the ring. He does have the ring, which only fuels Kunye wanting to kill him, which makes me a little nervous because Yan Wushi, he's like, I'm fine, I don't need nobody, but if everybody turns on you, that's a problem. But he doesn't, as far as he tells Kunye, he doesn't know how the ring works. He's like, he's got the ring, but there's some kind of magic involved with it. And he's like, I don't know how this works. Can you tell me? And Kunye is like, absolutely not. He's like, after I kill you, I'll tell your soul. The battle scenes in this were so good. So yeah, Kunye, surprisingly, is not as good of a fighter as I would have pegged him to be. Honestly, in comparison to Duan, especially like in this episode, I was like, maybe Duan is the bigger villain here, and Kunye is just kind of like, maybe Kunye is the cicada and Duan is the Oriole. That's the question. Because I figured, when you think about it, at first in episode 1, you'd think, okay, well, Kunye got the better of Shen Qiao, but now that we know he was poisoned the way that he was, it's kind of like, oh, well, actually, that, that's probably why. But now it's like, no, actually, maybe Kunye is not as strong as we gave him credit for. So then this guy comes in, like Guang Lingsan. Okay, so the guy from Fajing is Guang Lingsan. He looks like Yao from Modao Zushi, and Lan Wangji had kind of like a love child. Yeah, so he is the leader of Fajing sect. We both belong to the Devildom. Interesting. Okay, so he's the leader Fa Jing. So now we've met Juju, we've met Ling Song, and then Yan Wushi. So yeah, he's the leader of this sect. They talked about the devildom, which to me is like, okay, well, are they just like in an evil gang? So maybe that's what the devildom is, that they just talk about that. But him being the leader, it's good to discriminate between love and hate. Don't be so mean. He's like, let me try your shooting fingers. And then he sends like the wave back to him. And he's like, then I'll see if you have the ability. And so Kunye's like, I'm going to go meet Wen Yang. You cover our retreat. And he's like, bitch, please. I know what I'm doing. I'll have a good fight with Leader Yan. I love his when he's playing the biwa. I think that's a biwa. I could be wrong. No, it's a different, the instrument has a different name. Y'all will comment down below and tell me what the instrument is called, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I love his metal, like playing like the guards for his fingers. Love it. And he's like, you're such a creep. I love that Yan Wushi is like, the only one that gets to defile my body is Shen Qiao. Because Juju tried the same thing. She was like putting her hands all over Yan Wushi, being like, don't you want to like collaborate with us? And he was like, beyond thought. And then now, you have Ling San who's like, we can make beautiful music together. And he's like, you're a creep. No, you're a weirdo. I didn't expect the people of Beimu to be turtles hiding in their shells. I like that, because Yan Wushi is basically saying, like, I didn't expect all these Beimu people to have alliances with everybody so that they don't have to do any work. And he's like, why do you have to take others' love? The golden flower ring is the halidom of Beimu. This is an interesting point to bring up. Ling San is like, that's kind of their relic. Why did you take it? And he's like, it should be returned to the Duke. And he's like, well, no, because the Duke is trying to use it for bad purposes. So they have history, Ling San and Yan Wushi. And Yan Wushi's like, 10 years ago, you weren't like this. What's been happening since I've been away? Who gives you the guts to challenge me now? I love that he just instantly goes back to slut pose. He's like, you're not even worth my time. Too diva, too glam. He's like, the wise know which way the wind blows. I mean, that makes sense, where Ling San is like, look, you've been out of the game for 10 years. There's been a lot go down. Your boyfriend has been a recluse, so he don't know. So, he's like, I'm just following. Basically what he's saying is he thinks that Beimu is on top or positioned to be like in power. So he's like, I'm just going to go along with them because that seems like the smart way to go. Why do you act arbitrarily and insist on opposing Beimu? The world is in chaos, and Beimu has emerged unexpectedly. They could take on the great cause. But I mean, here's the thing. It's like Beimu's leader, Hugh Lugu, was bad news bears, and was doing evil things. So just because Beimu's in a position of power now, if their leader was doing evil things and they're following that leader's ideals, who cares if they're in power? You'd want to oppose that, right? He's like, you're a master second to none. Why don't you choose the right leader to serve? Yan Wushi does not... Here's the thing. Yan Wushi seems like a man of two things. One, he serves no one but himself. And two, if he were to serve someone, he's like, I want to serve someone that's like the Fengge guy that he admired. And the only person who's similar to the Fengge guy right now is Shen Qiao. So it could be that Yan Wushi's like, oh, well, no, I do know the right master to serve. It's Shen Qiao. I just got to get Shen Qiao to that point, which means he has to get the celerity and get his vision back and get the poisons out of him, all of that. Then I'm going to worship him. And that's going to entail as much sexual things as you think of, as well as everything else. So we'll see. We'll see. I do love, because Shen Qiao is so like blue, cold, light coated. And then you have Yan Wushi with not only the purple, but the fire of the phoenix. A loser depending on others' whims. How can you sell that idea to me? Freaking that phoenix is amazing. So yeah, that phoenix is so freaking good. I love that. So this is, yeah. Yep. Oh, it's so neat. I love the music versus the like notes versus the phoenix. So freaking cool. Love it. Yeah. The phoenix descending is more and more exquisite. Yeah. Maybe Yan Wushi is trying to figure out about the ring too, so it can help him like improve the phoenix descending. Maybe because Ling San makes a note that is rather important about a weakness that old Yan Wushi might have that we're gonna write down here very soon. We're gonna explore that in a little bit, but yeah. So then we go back to the main fight with Duan, and Duan and Lee end up fighting each other. Lee kind of like has somewhat of an upper hand. Lee also knows the illusory sword, so that's relevant. Lee, as we'll talk about, Lee Qingyu, he knows the illusory sword, which just happens to be something else that Shen Qiao knows as well. It sounded like from this episode was that they're both of their masters, Liu Qingyu and Shen Qiao, their masters may have known each other and their masters fought in similar ways. So if both of them kind of know similar moves, that would make a lot of sense. So, and it seems that Duan is like a little bit weakened. Yeah, it's overbearing and ubiquitous as his chi. It's impossible to guard against. He's even better than Kunye. And then he fired that one shot that happened to knock Lee back. Okay. Yep. So basically what this episode has taught us is we probably should not just like take on Duan immediately. You've mastered the art of the illusory sword at such a young age. He's like, well, you've proven to be Hugh Lugu's disciple too. He's like, yeah, I know when to leave. I think Duan, he's like, I've overstayed my welcome. Time to go. Learned a few things. That was fun. Now I'm going to head out. Bye. See you all never. Interesting. I feel like Shen Qiao is, it seems like he's somewhat mastered the illusory sword as well. He's really good. But it's not that simple. So then afterwards, I like that, again, Liu Qingyu is like, oh, Chief Shen. He's like, I'm no longer the chief. Please don't call me chief again. Shen Qiao is like, he's such an innocent, beautiful being. But when he is like done with something, he is done with something. He's like, don't call me that again, please. He's like, he's had enough. He's like, Chief Engay was the best in the world. He's like, you were indifferent to his provocation. Is it true Mount Zhandu has no successor at all? What a shame. I like that they're like, F you eyes drag, because he's not the successor. F that. So yeah, they're like, what a shame. He's like, my master was outstanding. If he could see you, he would have praised you. And that's when old Mr. Lee, he kind of gets a little shade in there, because Shen Qiao like gives him some praise. And he says, see you next time. With those talents, it's a shame you dance with the devil and abandon yourself to vice. I'm like, why are you totally crushing on him? He's like, you compliment me so well. You're such a nice guy. Why are you like dancing in bed with the devil, you whore? Like rocks away. And Shen Qiao's like, oh, sure, I fell into his arms a few times. What is this? Is this like having an official's blessing where you can detect it? Is more stuff happened? And that guy's like, oh my God. And then Mama Sue comes up and she's like, don't worry, son. I've been slut shamed too. We whore members got to stick together. Love it. Love it. So yeah, well then Duan comes back because he was like not done with everything and threatens to fight Shen Qiao. And again, the battles in this episode are so fun. I love the choreography. It is great. But he challenges Shen Qiao, and Shen Qiao, being like Batman or Superman, is like, okay, we need to take this where there's no collateral damage. So let's hop up on the rooftop where the worst that can happen is some shingles get thrown on somebody and hopefully they'll get out of the way. But yeah, so we come to find out that part of the plan is that in order to trap him, in order to trap Yan Wushi, we are going to try to make Shen Qiao into bait. We're going to try to lure Yan Wushi by kidnapping Shen Qiao. And Shen Qiao's like, look, I've been a damsel of distress once in this series, or maybe a few times, but today is not that day. And how dare Duan call Shen Qiao a loser? How dare he do that? The reason why he returned is to capture me. So yeah, so they go up to the top of the roof, and I love this scene. The fight with the tiles, Duan slapping the tiles and then sending them flying towards the bamboo stick and it breaking it. That's such a good move. It's so creative. And then just as he's about to fight him, I love this bamboo snaps and Li, you know what? And then Li Qingyu is like, I know I called you a whore and I made fun of you, but damn it, you're a respectable fighter. I'm not going to let you just die at this man's hands. Here, take my sword. Use it to help. And then luckily Shen Qiao's like, I know how to use an illusory sword as well, bitch. I love that he's like, does his little Sailor Moon. He's like Sailor Mercury making his little ring of blue around the sword. Mm-hmm. Yep, this felt like a Final Fantasy move, to be honest with y'all. Like, what is that move? Is it Chi? Says no, it's illusory sword. Well, why is it different from what Li Qingyu did? His move was invisible. His move is concrete. I kind of like that there's a difference. So Liu Qingyu, his move is more secretive. And then Shen Qiao, it's so funny. Shen Qiao is blind, but his moves are very concrete and visible. Also, the idea that Duan has this like fire dragon that comes out of his whip. I love a dragon theme. Y'all know this. Also, we're getting mythical creatures. Duan has the Beimu dragon theme. Yan Wushi has, or Yan Wushi has the phoenix theme. Living. Love it. But yeah. So he's like, apparently it hurt Duan though, because he hit his arm behind his back, which seems like it was burned or injured in the scuffle. He's like, I didn't expect Shen Qiao to have most of his power recovered. I need to retreat. He's like, I'll get you next time, Gadget. And then again, Shen Qiao does the thing with the sword. It's so freaking cool. So yeah, he's like, thanks for letting me use your sword. And he's like, no problem. And that's when Li Qingyu's like, hey, I know I called you a slut. Sorry, was just jealous. If you ever need a place to stay, you can stay with me and you don't have to stay with that audacious man. He's like, you don't have to find shelter under leader. You don't have to find shelter under Leader Yan's roof. Seems like a sexual innuendo and reference. And I'm like, I don't know if Shen Qiao got the gist or not. And she's like, thank you for your timely help. From one slut to another. And then that's when Zan's like, please, I was trying to talk to you. Grant me one request. Let me paint you. You know, you're this one celestial person who's deserving of a painting. You're like a celestial being who descends to the world. And Shen Qiao's like, come on, y'all at this banquet, this birthday party are coming on really heavy for me. I mean, what am I supposed to do? So yeah. Anyway, he's like, I'll come another day and visit. And Shen Qiao's like, what a nice guy. Oh, him and his new friend that he just made, which was Huan Fujian. They're just hanging out together. Good for them. I cannot wait to read the novel. So yeah, so Kunyei's pissed because they got nothing. He cooked my goose, eh? That he did. And Duan's pretty mad too. And that's when Ling San shows back up. And he's like, we didn't come in vain. He's like, apparently Yan Wushi has a fatal weakness with his phoenix descending. What does he say here? He says, when it reaches the 9th level, it's always like the 9th or 10th level. It's like once he gets to the 9th level of his move, the phoenix descending, then it's basically going to become unstable. It says it will easily go wrong and his body could explode. May explode, causing his body may explode from not being able to handle it. Basically, his Charizard's at level 63. When it reaches level 80, he doesn't have the Earth badge, so he won't be able to control it. Huh. And he's like, judging by the vigor of the move he just made now, Yan Wushi's devil skills are about to reach 9th level. Now, devil skills is a term that we've not really heard. So, is Yan Wushi a demon? I don't know. This series has not really made any of these, evil gang members out to be demons. So is that maybe just a term for like the magic that they use? I don't know. We'll find out. This one guy though, Ling San's a bitch. And then Kunye's like, okay, well then I have a strategy. He's like, Yan Wushi, your time has come. So they're going to possibly try to... What's so interesting here is that you have Yan Wushi, who is potentially like about to become so powerful that he can't handle it and control it, and it could be his undoing, and then he's trying in the meantime to help Shen Qiao read the celerity and help him regain and heal himself. So I'm like, are these two going to reciprocate? Is Shen Qiao going to reciprocate from Yan Wushi trying to heal him and try to heal Yan Wushi in the process? I just don't know. There's so many opportunities that could happen from this. There's so much that could go down. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But I'm super excited. I'm glad we can finally see the ED. Although I am pretty excited because the ED did cover everything through episodes 1 through 8. But now I'm like, okay, well, we have 8 more episodes. What are we going to get now? So we're halfway through. We are halfway through the Donghua. And it feels so wild to say that because I feel like we have so much time left to look at. We have so much left to go. And then we have the novel. So anyway, the rule of 8 did not let us down. This episode was great. And we have lots of things to think about. So I'm going to be transcribing this to my handy dandy notebook so that I will have these notes moving forward. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'm going to be back very soon with episode 9 of 1000 Autumns, and I'll see you there. Bye.